Alright, g'day, hi and welcome. Okay, Exhibit A. There's a leprechaun head on that post. I have no idea. Of all the years I've been going here, I've never seen that before. Creepy much? I don't know, you tell me. But it's a leprechaun head on that post. How did it get there? I don't see a pot of gold there. Maybe he's a fake leprechaun. Maybe he's a chupacabra leprechaun. You never know these days. You can't trust leprechauns. Alright, okay, well, another 2 hours in, not too bad. Well, I was doing, look at all those little pines. Wow. That's crazy. They're just shooting up like crazy, but I guess because we had such a mild winter, I pity anybody that hits that. That is going to kill somebody. Anyway, while I was doing my raking, that's hot here. That is hot. Metal? While I was doing my raking, I was doing some thinking, you know, like I'm thinking about my chainsaws and the chainsaws I'm going to get in the future. Yeah, me thinking about chainsaws. Hey, imagine that. Imagine that. Who could ever imagine? And you know, like, but you know, like how much money I'm going to have at the end of this month after my credit card payment and all that. And you know, like I want to put my money in such a way that I'm not boxing myself in on any one thing. So, like for example, my credit card payment, once I have the minimum payment, and then I've gotten, you know, like I try to double my minimum payments, and I'm basing my payment on my credit card charges of the month because they're higher than the regular minimum payment, right? And I could put more money on my credit card and pay it off faster, but then I have no wiggle room whatsoever for anything else that might emergency pop up, right? So you eliminate your debt, but then you get kicked in the nuts by Murphy with something and then you have no money, right? So like this kind of advice of, you know, don't put all your eggs in one basket kind of thing, and putting it into a practical sense. I think about the advice I got when I was a kid to do different things, right? And 50-year-old me versus 16-year-old me, first thing I do if there's ever, I go back in time and I meet 16-year-old me, first thing I'm doing is slapping myself in the back of the fucking head, just for being so stupid on some stuff, right? But after I get over that, I'll start giving myself good advice, you know? I know, like, why are you hitting me in the back of the head? Because you're stupid, that's why. You know, like I don't know if Gen Z would do that to the, you know, they'd probably walk up, no, just go up and smack yourself in the back of the head. You deserve it anyway. You deserve it anyway, you know? And once you get older, he'll go back in time and smack me back in the head twice or 3 times. Just because, like, yeah, he was right. He should have hit me 3 more times. You know what I mean? But anyway, so there's advice that, you know, I got that was good when I was younger. I'm not gonna say I didn't get good advice, but I didn't get good business advice. I never got good business advice. You know, like financial advice, some people would say, well, you should invest in this, and it was always kind of vague, right? But I never got, you know, how do you start your own business? How do you make money? How do you do it when you're young, so when you're my age you can retire, right? And unfortunately, 50-year-old me still doesn't have it all figured out. Nobody ever does. I mean, some people get lucky financially, or they're born wealthy or whatever. But like to just really, you know, make the right decisions right from the get-go kind of thing, and really set yourself up well. He got himself a trailer. You know, the thing is that, well, like the guy that just passed me, Glenn there, he works for himself too. Like almost all us guys work for ourselves. And that's the first thing I would say, is set yourself up to work for yourself. You guys in the city, there is like money to be tapped in down there for sure. But it's not in a retail job. It's never gonna, like, you might make okay in some retail jobs, but for the most part, no, they're always gonna try to find a way to pay less, right? So you need to get into stuff where there's actual demand. case a new scam comes along that they can pay you more, right? And so there's that. But that bird game close. But business advice. Well, I work for myself, but I also do a lot of different things, right? So skills and versatility is definitely advice I would give. But obviously the number one advice I would give is your reputation. Protect it at all costs. Never lie. Never take on more than you can actually handle. I'm not just talking about that, I'm talking about, business. Like don't take on more clients than you can handle. Because that hurts your reputation. And your reputation, maybe in the city you can get away with it because you've got a big enough pool that you could screw somebody over, move to the next job, and the last person doesn't, the new person doesn't know what you did to the last person. And you get away from that. You get away with that for a while. And some people do that, right? They'll quote somebody something and like way underquote them just to get the job, and then bang, they get a bad reputation, right? Now they might win in the short term, but where they lose is consistent clients, where you get repeat business. And I gotta tell you, I'd rather have the repeat business, especially when you get good clients, because they always come to you first. And when they come to you first, you get to set the price, you get to set the kick at the can, and you get to set a lot of stuff, right? Like you have a lot of control. But even at that, let's say you're more expensive than another guy, but you gotta, a lot of clients won't care about that much. They're like, okay, this guy's like $5 more an hour than the other guy, but he's so reliable. He always tries. He acts like he cares at least. You know what I mean? And what ends up happening is that people don't really care that much. Like I was talking to a lady last night, and as soon as I introduced myself, she's like, "Oh, did you talk to my nephew Adam because he had recommended you? Like to do some work?" And I'm like, "Well," I said, "I can't really take on much more now, but we'll talk. If it's just one or two little things, we'll see. It might be a job that I can't do, but if there's like 3 jobs in a row there, maybe it's worth it for me to drive there, right?" But your reputation, imagine that, a person that I've seen her before, but I never really introduced myself, whatever. But they already know about you. You know what I mean? Like there's people throwing work at me. Like I've had about 5 people this week say, "Are you available? Are you available? Are you available?" Just to do this one thing, just to do, you know what I mean? Because I'm the guy doing it. I'm the guy with the reputation. I'm the guy with the good reputation. I'm the guy that's not leaving joints or cigarette butts on your lawn. I'm the guy that shows up. I'm the guy that shows up early. I'm the guy that charges you fairly. I'm the guy that tells you when I can and cannot do something. It goes so far. So if that was the advice I would give to 16-year-old me, that'd be my first business thing that I would say, your reputation. After that, I would say, obviously you have to get skills. But in the kind of work I do, you get skills fairly quickly. Pretty much anybody can use a rake. Anybody can use a lawnmower or whippersnipper. There's not a lot of, there's not a lot of training that's involved there. You know what I mean? You don't need 3 weeks training for that. If you can't figure it out after 15 minutes, maybe you're in the wrong. Maybe you should find something else to do. Chainsaw, that's years of experience. Chainsaw stuff, but you start off small, and you're gonna make mistakes. There's no doubt about that, but you can learn, and learning is your first thing that you should do. Right? Okay. Rather than make the mistake, something that didn't exist when I was 16 was the internet, right? Like it didn't exist for the public, right? So there was no, YouTube and stuff like that. But, YouTube, how to cut a tree down, watch more than one guy, because there's some guys, they're really, like,